The best just got a little bit better. DxO has launched a new version of their PureRaw software. It's PureRaw 3 now. And let's look what's new and how good it is. Hi, it's Peter here. And we have to start with the disclaimer. DxO did not sponsor this video, nor do they know that I'm making the video. However, I do have affiliate links in the description down below if you want to get the software. And I also attended their affiliate briefing about the software. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I did get a trial version of the software, which expires by the end of this month. So I do not get to keep the software. Before we get into the new stuff that PureRaw 3 has, let's talk about PureRaw and what it actually is. It is a software that removes noise and makes optical corrections to your RAW files. Yes, it works only for RAW files. And you can use it as a Lightroom plugin, or you can use it straight from the Finder, at least in the Mac version, and then of course it can be used as a standalone software. And that is the way I'm using it here when I show you a few things that the software has. And let's start with the new stuff. Batch workflow. It is now possible to use batch workflow in DxO PureRaw 3. That's a new thing. You can make all the adjustments to all your images that you want to edit with DxO PureRaw, and then you just export all the batches. And you can have several different batches, and what's also great is that every image can have different settings and different parameters and different denoise technologies applied. And I think that's a huge improvement when it comes to workflow, because it was a bit hard, the workflow as a when it was used as a standalone software. Lightroom plugin, it's a bit different thing. But as I said, I talk about the standalone version on this one. New options to customize. Now you can customize a lot more when you exporting or editing your images with DxO PureRaw 3. You can choose the denoising technology. The new thing here is Deep Prime X, and more about those a bit later. You can choose the lens softness amount: soft, standard, strong, and hard. Then you can choose if you want the image to be cropped to the original ratio, or use maximum rectangle or complete image area. Then you choose the output format and destination. Then there is the possibility of exporting the image straight to Lightroom Classic. And this is a very handy way if you're using the standalone software. But if you're using it as a plugin, it will automatically import them to your catalog. So it's a very good workflow when you use it as a plugin. New optic modules every month. This is a pretty bold promise. They promise that they will update the optic modules every month. So DxO PureRaw 3 will be updated every month. Not sure if you're still using PureRaw 2 or the original PureRaw, if that applies to that. But at least it is for PureRaw 3 that they will update the optic modules. The good thing is that they already have not hundreds of thousands, but tens of thousands different optic modules. And if you get new optic modules every month, most likely if your lens and camera combination is not supported yet, it will be soon. The price. A new license is 129 euros/$, and if you already have PureRaw 2, the price for PureRaw 3 is 79 euros/$. Not a bad price for what it is. Then let's talk about the denoising technology. D Prime XD is the new one on PureRaw 3. It was introduced in PhotoLab 6, and it is a bit more aggressive than the original Deep Prime, which still exists on this software. And let's look how they differ. I have these two images that I shot with OM5, and it is ISO 6400. So you would assume that there is some noise. And here is the original, here is the Deep Prime version, and here is the Deep Prime XD version. And this is the other image, original, Deep Prime, and Deep Prime XD. I think it's a matter of taste which one is the best one. As I said, the Deep Prime XD is a little more aggressive and makes the image sometimes look a bit unnatural. So Deep Prime is something that you might want to try if Deep Prime XD is too aggressive. In my opinion, Deep Prime is actually slightly better in most images, but I will make a more in-depth comparison in the future. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that video. Well, is it worth upgrading? And I think it is, because the improvement in workflow, the batch workflow, is so much better than what it used to be. Now it's so easy to just add all the images to batch and then just export them, and while you export you can still work with the next batch if you want. And as I said, you can have different settings for each image inside a batch. And if there are some images that you don't decide that you don't want to, you can just, get rid of it and just remove it from the batch, and it will do it in the background, and you can still work with the next batch, as I said. And this is really huge, because I always like when software companies make workflow or make the workflow easier and more smoother. It saves time and it makes things so much easier and more convenient. Also, adding Deep Prime XD to PureRAW 3 is a good choice because it can work better in some images. But as I said, they still have the Deep Prime, so you can use that if you're not so fond of the XD version of Deep Prime. And if you're planning on getting the software, I do have the affiliate links in the description down below. You will support my free content and get some good software. And remember, you don't pay any extra. It's a win-win situation. As I said, I will make a more in-depth video about the features and how Deep Prime XD and of course the PureRAW 3 works. So this was just a quick glance on what's new and a few comments about is it worth upgrading. And to get the best out of your camera, try to make the images so that there is as a low amount of noise in the start with when you're making the image. And here is a video that might help you in that. You might want to watch that if you're interested in getting as clean images as possible. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.